Melinda Clifton is one pissed off homeowner. She's in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and she's been there for a pretty long time, almost 2 decades, in the same house. She raised her kids in that house. And in this time in the world where everything just seems to be getting more and more expensive, Melinda is faced staring down the barrel of a 300% increase on her insurance premiums. Now, Melinda's house has seen it all, right? And it typically fares pretty well after these storms, especially with the shenanigans that Texas weather has to offer. But over those 2 decades, she has had to file some insurance claims, 3 to be exact. Each time, same thing. Hail damage on the roof needs to be replaced. Each time, the insurance company took the claim, paid out, no problem. Well, that was until 2024 when it was time to renew her policy. That insurance company gave her a bill that made her question if she can even afford to live in the house that she's owned for 20 years. That is complete and utter madness. And no one should have to deal with that type of stress over their homeowner's insurance. Now, her insurance bill in 2023 was about $2,600, or it came out to be roughly $216 a month. Still kind of high, but manageable. The new bill she received was about $8,800. That put her monthly payments above $700 a month just for insurance. Now, $700 a month is a small mortgage, and actually $8,600 a year is high-key predatory and ridiculous. She's not the only one. You see, the state of Texas is a file and use state. That means insurance companies can request an increase in their rates from the state and then implement those rates before the state actually approves it, which is kind of weird and feels a little wrong. But according to some experts, they say this is why insurance companies haven't left Texas at the rate that they're leaving places like Florida or even some of the ones in California. They say that this file and use keeps it competitive for insurance companies, but it really just seems like it is predatory for the people that are using the insurance service. And this is really significant because there was an analysis done by NBC5 and DFW. They went to the Texas Department of Insurance and they saw that insurance companies had requested double-digit rate increases almost 156 times just in 2023. So that's essentially every couple days, somebody's coming and raising the rates on their insurance. And they also did it for 2024. And as of July, there were already 74 requests for increases. One of those companies was asking for a 74% increase in their prices. And here's what's even more messed up. It's not gonna stop. If you think that it's gonna stop or slow down, then I'm sorry, you're just wrong. There's a few things that are happening here. One, whether you're a climate change believer or not, weather-related disasters have increased, and the cost of those weather-related disasters has also increased. The price of houses and materials has increased. The cost of labor has increased. So more disasters to more expensive houses, and it's more expensive to get those houses fixed after the disaster. Well, that's gonna equal more increases in insurance rates, which I think is fair, right? Like, I think that part is fair. But where it gets predatory is when these insurance companies still clear billions of dollars at the end of the year, and the CEOs get these huge bonuses, and the executives get these big raises and big checks. And at the end of the day, it's the people who are needing the service, living on the ground, and just hoping to protect one of their largest assets that are footing the bill for that. And that's where I think that this is all wrong. And I've seen a lot of people in a lot of comments and a lot of forums say that the way insurance companies are basically strong-arming you into paying whatever rate they want should be illegal. And I'm inclined to agree. Now, Texas is already the 6th most expensive state when it comes to insurance rate premiums on $300,000 houses, according to bankrate.com. The difference is almost $1,600 higher than the national average. So you move to Texas for the no property tax, but you leave Texas because of the insurance rates. And even my insurance company tried to pull one of these on me. I got a bill in the mail that was a 50% increase from what I was paying the year before. So I called my buddy who's an insurance broker. I've known him forever. And I was like, hey, this is weird and it does not seem right and I don't want to pay it. And he said, hey, that amount is actually pretty good for Texas. And friendship be darned, I was shopping for new insurance quotes before we even hung up the phone because I just wasn't gonna stick around for that. And that leads me to my next point. Just because they're being predatory and they're raising rates and also leaving states doesn't mean that we have to be victims. We have power, we have say-so. We just have to use our voices. And it's messed up because insurance rates have actually outpaced inflation. But we don't have to be victims, and I'm telling you this not to scare you, but to empower you so that you can know how to navigate the maze. It's all a big game, you just gotta know how to play it right. And I never make these videos to scare you. It's all about informing you so that you can see the play and then move accordingly. So how do we beat the big insurance companies? Well, first thing is, you'll probably hear this in a lot of places, but you have to shop. But you need to shop aggressively. And I say aggressively because it needs to be more than you just making one phone call to one other insurance company to get the quotes. And to get the insurance quotes, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes effort, it takes phone calls back and forth and you answering questions and giving a whole bunch of information to somebody that you probably don't even want to talk to in the first place. But it'll be worth it for you to save big on your insurance premiums because the other company, they're essentially counting on you to not go and shop around. So not only are we going to shop around, we're going to shop aggressively. And I know when you get to looking at these policies and listening to these insurance agents, it can sound like they're speaking another language. But if you can ride it out and you can endure that pain, then the better rate you're going to get on the other side. And this actually leads me to my second point here. Make them explain it until it is crystal clear. They are counting on you to not ask questions. They're counting on you to just accept what they're feeding you. They are counting on you to not know what they're talking about. But when I changed over my insurance, I sat on the phone with those people for hours and asked all the questions I possibly could about each line item in the quote that they gave me to understand what it is, what it does, and why I need it, and what is my benefit. And at the end of it, I understood my policy better than I ever did, right? And I also felt like what I'm paying for this policy is actually worth it because if something happens, I know exactly what I got coming and exactly what I need to do to get it. Third thing is going to be to review your policy every year. Again, they're counting on you to not care. They're counting on you to not pay attention. But that's not us. That's not the people that watch this channel. We're going to be on top of it. We're going to do a policy review every year. And you're going to start with the company that you already work with and then work your way down to a few others. You take one quote that they give you and you give it to the other person and you say, hey, beat it. And for my people that already own homes and you like to do home improvements, yes, you can do certain improvements on your home to lower your rate. Like things like adding a brand new roof, but like getting a really, really nice upgraded one, or storm resistant windows, things of that nature, like things that actually combat the climate where you are or any other security risk. Those things can help. Now, I don't know if the savings on your insurance premium is worth the cost of doing those things. That's one of those things you have to actually talk to an insurance specialist about. But yes, those type of things can help lower your rate. And this other one's kind of weird, but it's one of those things that a lot of people don't know about, but you need to take it into account. And it's your credit score. So your credit score can actually affect your insurance premiums. The better the score, the better the rate. Why? Because they see a person with a better credit score as less of a risk. And all insurance is just like risk adjusting. So they adjust the amount that they're going to charge you based on your credit score. So if you know that you're about to go into a season where it's time to renew your insurance policy, it might be good to go ahead and boost up your credit score a little bit to help you save a little bit of money on the back end. And I've seen a lot of stories about people whose insurance is getting dropped for one reason or another. Now, this is really just a sad situation. It's one of those things that I think should be illegal for real. But if this does happen to you, then of course you have to go and shop different companies, see who will take you. But then there is also a state-run insurance agency that you can go to. It's super expensive and it should be a last option, but you don't have to live without insurance. And it's jacked up because in order to have a mortgage, you have to have homeowners insurance. So if you find yourself in a place where you're like, okay, I don't have insurance, they dropped me, and in order to keep my mortgage, I have to get insurance, then you might want to go and do the state-run option. And also what will happen is your mortgage company will stick you with an insurance policy that you don't want to be in. Make sure that your boots on the ground. And this might mean taking days off from work or like using your entire lunch break to get this done, but it's worth it to save that money in the long run and not to be a victim. I'm not an expert on insurance, I must admit, but I'm learning. And the more I learn, the more jacked up it seems. It's making home ownership more expensive for people that are trying to buy a home. And it's also making people who already own a home question if they can even stay in the place that they already bought. Now, as for Melinda at the beginning of our story, she did the aggressive shopping method and she found herself with an insurance increase of about 45%. Still sucks, but it's way better than a 300%. So she saved herself 250% by just shopping around and not taking what they were trying to give her. So I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think what insurance companies are doing should be illegal? Or there should be like some kind of regulation to stop them from jacking up prices so high? I'm not a big fan of like government interfering in everything, but it seems like sometimes there are times when we need a little help. And this could really be one of those. Also, another thing that we can do is vote people in power that have policies that will help with these crazy insurance rates. I'm not a super political dude, but it is really one of the best ways to make your voice heard. Now, this was all about insurance, but if you want to make sure that your mortgage payment does not skyrocket due to other reasons that are not just insurance, then watch this video here. It'll give you a lot of insight about the factors that can change with your mortgage, and it tells the story of how one lady went from making $2,500 payments a month to $7,500 payments a month. It's really a good cautionary tale. Check it out. My name's Stephan Harris. If you're buying or selling real estate anywhere in the world, please reach out. I would love to help. I can either connect you with an agent where you are, or if you're in the great state of Texas, my team and I would love to assist. We are humble servants and just super happy to be a resource for anybody. Even if you just got a question about your real estate situation, click in the description. My Calendly link is there. Shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I would love to speak to you. I hope this video was informative and helpful, and may your insurance premiums forever be low. All right, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.